Okay. Hello, folks. Welcome to the CITZ Price is Right game show. Thank you, everyone, for being here. As Sarah was saying, this is one of our events to support PECSF this year. I'm our executive sponsor for PECSF in the ministry and very happy to be your host for today. So our intent today is hopefully to have some fun, entertain people, have a good time, but also raise awareness for PECSF. So please do find some time to go and consider making a donation at some point. I haven't made mine yet, but I did hear from someone on my team that they've actually improved the system, made it even easier than it's been in the past. I'll definitely be going on there myself shortly. On an annual basis, I make donations to Our Place. I think one of the things I love about PECSF is, as public servants, we all get to make a difference and have an impact on our community and on British Columbia on a daily basis. But it's also nice to just be able to show up and provide support directly to organizations that are meaningful for you and that are making a contribution to your community. So I welcome you to all think about that, reflect on it, and consider making a donation. And I also want to acknowledge that today I'm talking to you from 4000 Seymour on the lands of the Algonquin peoples, and feel very privileged and lucky to live in this place, and want to extend my ongoing thanks and gratitude to the Esquimalt, Songhees First Nations, and the Wasanich peoples. And ask you to take a moment. I know many of you are probably joining from around the province, so please take a moment just to reflect on the land that you're joining from today. So, welcome to the show. And we have our two contestants here, which is great. We had a minor technical issue there, Aubrey. And just so you know, generally, if there's any technical issues, I do take the blame for those. So you can blame me for that one. So leading up to this event, we had many people throughout CITS who did their best to guess the winning auction price for various items sold through BC Auctions. And for anyone who's paid attention, there have been some fascinating things on BC Auction site over the years, a houseboat being one of my favorite. And we received more than 100 submissions. We were surprised at how many of the people that submitted actually had pretty good guesses around the BC Auction items. Some of you had top responses, and two contestants have been selected. So I'm pleased to introduce our contestants today, Aubrey Robertson, who's with the BC Data Service, and Connie Tomlinson, who's with Service BC. Welcome to you both. Both Aubrey and Connie were in the top brackets with their guesses in the virtual round last week. So they've already proven themselves and their ability to guess the price of different things that show up on BC Auction. And now they're going to face off each other in a live showdown. So how's this going to work? Each of them is going to get a chance to guess the actual auction price of various items. So these are things that actually went on auction on BC Auction past. Whoever is closest without going over gets a point. Once they've gone through the two showcases, the person with the most points wins. We're going to require a bit of audience participation with these. Each contestant is going to have the opportunity to do a lifeline. So if they want to use their lifeline, that means that they can poll the crowd and get some input from the crowd on what you folks think the thing is worth. We'll then insert a poll into the chat, and then people can guess the winning auction price. The contestant can then use that result to influence their guest if they want. So nothing like getting a little help from your peers and friends. If there's a tie in the end, we also do have a special tiebreaker item, and then the contestant with the most points will win a very fancy, final design is still pending, but I hear it's very fancy, CITZ Price is Right t-shirt. So that's very exciting for everyone. I can see the excitement on their faces just here, ready to win that t-shirt. Okay, so I think we're ready to get going. Let's start first item, and the art and film is the theme here. So I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give you the details, and then we'll ask the contestants for their guesses. So this first one is Star Wars: The Emperor Strikes Back original 1980 film stock. So this is like film negatives. It's on Eastman Kodak film, which I think is very specific information, hopefully helpful to you in your guessing. And the film frames pictures of 5 characters, including Darth Vader and Boba Fett. So before I ask your guesses, do either one of you want to use your lifeline on this item? No, looks like you're both good. All right. So I'm going to each ask of you to make your guess. We're going to start on this one with Aubrey, and I'll give you a few seconds just to think about it, and then you can give me your answer.
I'm going to go with $1,200.
$1,200. Okay. Aubrey, thank you for that. Now, Connie, it's your turn.
I'll go for 1,300.
$1,300. So, unfortunately, in this one, I think we have no winner. Is that right, Sarah? If we go over, there's no winner?
If we go over, it is the closest.
The closest.
So point would
Okay.
go to Aubrey.
So Aubrey, you got that one. So only $191. And nice to know that you would have thought it was $1,200. This would have been a steal of a deal had you got it. So 191 for that one. Aubrey, you get the first point. Well done.
Nice.
Okay, on to art and film. Showcase 2. So this item, it is a Robert Bateman print of grizzlies and cubs. Appears to be professionally framed and matted. I don't think this is it. It's coming shortly. It includes a small plaque indicating the artist and title, and it is in previously used conditions, has small marks and scratches. So that's the description of this item. Would either of you want to use a lifeline on this item? No, looks like we're good to go. All right, so this time we're going to go with Connie first. Connie, you get the first guess.
$295.
$295 for Connie. Okay, Aubrey, what is your guess?
I think I'll go with 150 for this one.
150. Okay, so I have that putting Aubrey as the closest. The actual price for this item sold on BC auctions in 2019, $298. Well done. Okay, so here we go. That's the first item done, and we've got Aubrey with 2 points. Connie with 0 points so far, but Connie, this could be your time. Let's move on to the next theme. This theme is the Fast and the Furious. Our first item, and this is a bit of a bigger ticket item than we had last time. It's a 2010 Chevrolet Camaro SS. So exterior color is silver. The interior color is black. It has 74,237 kilometers on it, a 6.2 liter engine, and a 6-speed standard transmission. It's a 2-door coupe, and the body, interior, and tire condition were deemed fair. The vehicle runs, so this is quite a significant one. Would either of you like to use your lifeline? And I'm going to ask that those folks who are viewing and might have ideas about what you think it is, hold off on sharing your ideas in the chat, so we're not going to influence Aubrey or Connie in that. So I think that we have Aubrey going first this time.
Yeah, I think I'll go with 11,000.
11,000 for this Camaro. Okay, Connie, what is your guess on the Camaro?
I'll go for 14,000.
14,000. The actual price, this item BC auction in 20, $18,100. So a point for Connie. Well done, Connie. This could be the comeback. All right, so now we've got Aubrey with 2 and Connie with 1, and we're on to Fast and the Furious, item 2. So this item, a former emergency service vehicle. It is a 2013 Harley-Davidson FLHTP Police Extra. It's got 33,517 kilometers and a 1,688 cc engine. Anti-lock brakes, light is on. The horn does not work. So a couple of issues there. It's a standard 6-speed transmission, but the vehicle does run. So before we get to this one, would either of you like to use your lifeline?
Sure. I'll use my lifeline.
Okay, so that means we're going to get Aubrey to go first. And that way, Aubrey will not be influenced by the results from the community. So Aubrey, what's your guess around this motorcycle, this Harley Davidson?
I'm gonna go with 8,999.
8,999. Very specific. Okay. Now we're going to go through Connie's lifeline, and I think this is where our polls are going to take over, and Courtney's there. She's shared a poll. You should see this on your screen, and you can give your answer for what you think the Harley-Davidson motorcycle is worth. I'll give you a moment or two to do that, and then Courtney, you can let me know when we've got all the results in.
While
Again,
people are answering the poll, Mandy Dulai from BC Auction has put a comment in the chat here that she works at BC Auction. If anyone would like any more information about BC Auction or anything like that, they could reach out to her. And she's in the chat there if you need to click on her name.
That's great, Mandy. Thank you so much.
And I think we're probably good to go. We have 71 responses so far.
Okay, so Connie, can you see those responses in the chat?
Absolutely.
So again, this
I'll
is
go for
your,
the 10,500.
so you want to take the advice of the group and go for the 10,000.
Sure.
Okay, Connie, so Connie is going with the 10,500, but Connie and the whole group here. So let's look at what this one was actually worth. The actual item sold for $8,800. Aubrey,
Yeah,
you were
there you go.
you're close as it was. You are the winning bidder, and you receive another point for that. So that means we have Aubrey with 3 points, Connie with 1 point. Well done to both of you. Congratulations to Aubrey, though. You're the winner of Price It Right. You obviously really know stuff with your BC auctions. We still have a tiebreaker item prepared. So just for fun, why don't we open that up to the audience for guesses, okay? And we'll let the audience go first on this one. So this item is a Louis Vuitton black monogrammed leather backpack, short handle with two adjustable straps, exterior and interior pockets, double zip closure. It was made in Spain. Comes new in a box with dust bag and receipts. You should see on the poll. You can guess what you think this item would have gone for on BC auction. The Louis Vuitton. We'll give people a moment here. Lots of folks coming in at 1,400. Some people pretty confident they know their Louis Vuitton. Mandy, while we're waiting for that to come, I'd love to hear from you in the chat. What's the strangest thing you've seen on BC auction in your time there? Okay, have we got everyone through, Courtney?
Yep, we have almost 100 responses so far.
Okay, so why don't we do this before we go any further? Aubrey, Connie, what are your guesses?
I would say 1,400.
1,500 for you, Aubrey?
I'll go with the 1,700.
With the 1,700. Well, you know, this one's already done. We know that Aubrey is our winner today. The actual price for the item sold on BC auction in 2022 was $1,700. So good guesses from lots of folks, but obviously some of you undervalued this for this very nice bag. Could have gone for way more. All right. There we go. So again, huge big thanks to our contestants, Aubrey, Connie. You both did an amazing job. I have to say, I would have guessed nowhere close to what you managed to guess. I'm very impressed with your knowledge here. Well done. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the CITZ Price is Right game show, especially our contestants, Aubrey Robertson from BC Data Service, Connie Thomason from Thank you all for taking time. I hope you take a moment to think about supporting PECSF. If you want to set up a donation and haven't yet, you can visit pecsf.gov.bc.ca to do so. We'll put a link in the chat to help you. If you need help setting up a donation, please contact our CITZ PECSF lead coordinator, Nastasha. Her email will also be in the chat. And if you're in Victoria, we hope to see you at the next event on October 18th at 4000 Seymour for the BC and Alberta Guide Dog Visit. Everyone loves it when the dogs show up. And coming soon for staff in all locations, Halloween grams. So everyone, thanks again for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day and take care. Bye-bye.